Come in, Chancellor. I thank you for coming.
Very irregular, Mr. Wordsworth. You know why I've come, do you?
Well, I invite you.
Yes, of course you invite me. But why would I honor such an invitation? A cryptic note sent by a condemned man in the last hours of his life? Hardly the norm, Mr. Wordsworth. Hardly what I'm accustomed to. Somewhat suspect, too. How do I know I wasn't brought here for the pitiful act of vengeance on the part of the condemned?
Vengeance?
Yes, I'm partly responsible for the finding in your case. Your demise in less than an hour can be attributed to my decision. I'll tell you why I've come here, Mr. Wordsworth, perhaps to prove something to you.
And that is?
To prove to you that the state has no fears, none whatsoever.
Excuse me, Chancellor, that is the utterance of a joke. I mean, you come to my room to prove to me that the state isn't afraid of me? Why, what an incredible burden I must be for the state to have to prove that it isn't afraid of an obsolete librarian like myself. No, I'll tell you the reason you get. I tell you the reason even though you won't admit it to yourself.
And now it's my turn to ask, what might that be?
I don't fit your formula. Your state has everything categorized, indexed, tagged. People like you are the strength, people like me are the weakness. Your kind control order and dictate, and my kind merely follow and obey. Something has gone wrong, hasn't it? I don't fit, do I?
Yes, you fit, Mr. Wordsworth, indeed you fit. In a few moments you'll be cringing and bleeding, just like they all do. Yes, Mr. Wordsworth, you fit. You have a worthless, meaningless little life, but you also have an instinct for survival. And soon, in a few moments, when you feel life slipping away, when you feel your survival is just a question of minutes, we'll see then who's stronger, Mr. Wordsworth, the state or the librarian. I take it you've had a talk with whomever has assigned your liquidation.
Indeed I have.
Midnight, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. As you can see, they brought this equipment here this afternoon. These two men set that up in less than 15 minutes. It's very efficient, remote controlled. We're being televised now.
It's not unusual that we televise executions, Mr. Wordsworth. Last year during the mass executions, we televised around the clock. 1,300 people were put to death in less than 6 hours.
Never learn, do you? History teaches you nothing.
On the contrary, Mr. Wordsworth, history teaches us a great deal. We had predecessors who had the beginnings of the right idea.
Ah, yes. Hitler.
Of course, Hitler.
Stalin.
Stalin, too. But their era was not one of excess, it was simply not going far enough. There are too many undesirables left around, and undesirables eventually create a core of resistance. Old people, for example, clutch at the past and won't accept the new. The sick, the maimed, the deformed, they fasten onto the healthy body and damage it. And people like yourself, they can perform no useful function for the state, and are therefore obsolete. So, we eliminate them. A charming little room you have here, Mr. Wordsworth. Have you lived here long?
Just over 20 years. I built that furniture myself.
Ah, yes. That, incidentally, has kept you alive this long through talent. You see, carpentry is a skill, and the state provides considerable leeway for those who possess certain skills. But unfortunately, you went as far as you could go in your life, which was insufficient. So, in a few moments, Romney Wordsworth, librarian, after a fruitless life, will discover his own nirvana. That's what they call it in these little books, isn't it? You aren't facing the camera, Mr. Wordsworth. You're cheating your audience. They like to see how you die. Please, face the camera, Mr. Wordsworth. Try to stifle your emotions. If you feel like crying, go ahead and cry. If you feel like pleading, by all means, plead. Some high-state official might take pity on you.
Yes, that would please you, wouldn't it? A little abject hand-wringing, chest pounded, falling down on my hands and knees.
And suit yourself, Mr. Wordsworth. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be entertained by them when they do come. I have another appointment this evening.
Oh, Chancellor.
Make it brief, Mr. Wordsworth.
Well, you have plenty of time. You're not going anywhere.
What's that?
I'm afraid I haven't been very fair with you. I invited you here for a very special reason. Would you like to know the method I've chosen for my liquidation? Well, in this room, in a few moments here, a bomb is going off.
Very thoughtful, Mr. Wordsworth. Relatively quick and painless death.
Yes, but knowing you're about to be blown to smithereens in just a few moments isn't the happiest thought in the world now, is it?
That, Mr. Wordsworth, depends on the individual.
Indeed, it does.
What kind of idiocy is this, Mr. Wordsworth? You've locked the door.
Oh? Oh, yes, I've locked the door. Now, question. How does a man react to knowledge he's about to be blown to bits in half an hour? Answer? Well, that depends on the individual. That's me. I'm just going to sit here and read my Bible. It's been in here for over 20 years. It's a crime punishable by death, so of course it's the only thing I have that has any value at all to me. So I'm just going to sit here and read it in the last moments of my life. How are you going to spend your last moments, Chancellor?
This is insane, Mr. Wordsworth. Let me out of here. Guards, somebody down there.
You're cheating your audience. You aren't facing the camera.
Guards, somebody!
Oh, would you quit your yelling? There's nobody out there. That's one of the rules you made up yourself, remember? Isolate the person to be liquidated. Yes, so no. I don't think there's anybody out there. So why don't you come over here and face the camera? It's important. You said so yourself.
I understand, Mr. Wordsworth. Chew on the other foot, that's the idea. It's one thing for someone like yourself to do a little cringing and pleading, but what a choice opportunity to show a member of the state doing likewise. But you're insane, Mr. Wordsworth. You think they'll let me stay here?
They? I ask clarification of the term they. Oh, you mean the state. No, I think they'll sit on their hands for a little while. They wouldn't want to miss this scene. Besides, the act of rescue would be very demeaning of them to have to come down here and rescue a high-ranking member of the state, to snatch him out of the soup, so to speak. Oh, I don't think they will help you.
Misjudged you, Mr. Wordsworth.
You underestimated me. You wanted the whole world to see the way a librarian dies. Well then, let them see too how an official of the state dies. Step into the light, face the camera. Let the whole country see the strength of the state, the courage of the state, the resilience of the state. Let the whole country see a valiant man of steel face his fate. You have a Nirvana coming up too. So why don't you just come down here and sit down and have a little chat, just you and I, and the great equalizer, because death, that is the great equalizer. So here you have this strong, handsome, uniformed, bemedaled symbol of giant authority, and this small, insignificant librarian. Suddenly, in the eyes of God, there's precious little to distinguish us.
We shall see, Mr. Wordsworth, we shall see.
Defend me from those that rise up against me. Deliver me from the workers of iniquity, and save me from the bloody men. For lo, they lie in wait for my soul. The mighty have risen against me, not for my transgressions, not for my sins, O God. They run and prepare themselves without my fault. Await to help me, and behold. From the depths I call out unto thee, O Lord. Lord, here's my voice. Let thine ears be attentive to the voice of my supplications.
Please,